Welcome to another episode of Crown on Chrome. I'm your host, Gareth Davis, and this is my Match 50. So recently I tried to replace all the electrics. I made one big mistake. I bought an AC CDI unit and my bike is a DC. So I thought I could just repin it in the layout for an AC and everything would be fine. It wasn't. I've basically burnt out my stator again. I've burnt out my rectifier again, and the both the CDI boxes, the AC one that I bought and the DC one that was original. But it's not a problem. I'm just going to buy a unrestricted DC CDI. Also I'm going to buy another stator, buy another rectifier. I've checked the coil, that's tested okay. The original one was only the HT lead but wasn't, so I snipped off both ends, screwed it back onto resistive cap, screwed it back onto the coil, tested it, tested fine. So that shouldn't be a problem. Basically what was confusing me is there's 5 wires coming from the stator. So the black red is the 82 volt AC. This bike doesn't use it basically, and I was trying to make it go to the CDI. So basically that'll just go into a blank spot in the plug with 4 wires coming out instead of 5 going in. And I think that'll be the end of the trouble. But that's not what we're doing today. What I'm going to do, when I'm sitting on this bike, I've got about 2.5 inches that I'm taller than the bike. So what I'm going to do is raise the bike up 2.5 inches. So I looked at shocks, and it was probably going to cost me about 120 quid. So I have 2.5 inch shocks longer. There were adjustable mono shock types, but I don't fancy spending 120 quid. So what I'm going to do is do what they do on the 400 and move the shock further along the trailing arm. What this will do is lift the bike up. So I found an old trailer hub. Well, it's a new trailer hub. The studs won't be long enough, unfortunately, so I'll have to put a longer stud in. But I'm basically going to chop off here, chop off there, and then these bits I chop off I'll weld onto the trailing arm here, move the shock forward, gain the height, and I've done it for a bit of effort on an episode of Crown and Chrome. So please like, comment and subscribe, and we shall get on with some welding. So let's try and cut this. trim your nails. Right, so instead of taking the back wheel off and wheeling the bike outside and leaning it down so I can do a flat bench weld, I've decided to remove the trailing arm. So I'm going to have to take this off again, pull the back wheel off, pull the back trailing arm off, and then I can weld. Well, I think I'm sitting on it, am I? Not quite. Right, weld these on, and obviously get some new wheel spokes that will actually be long enough. Maybe they'll tap out of the original points. Let's get these sorted. Let's see if I've got a tap for this bottom mount. It's the worst. That's still going. Sprocket off. I hope we're getting this on camera. This turn clip is quite funny. Somewhere it comes off. There we are. So chain loosened up. I can't believe I'm going to have to reorder from Temu, get another rectifier, get another stator, get another CDI, sorry. And just put it how it was and see if that works. The only difference is the CDI will be an unrestricted one with some micro switches here rather than having the push button on the dashboard like the AC one. So I'm going to need a spanner. I'd prefer it if it had the push button on the handlebars. that one? Not sure why. I might actually move that one down to there. That way I'm not looking in two places. Not ratchet, but it should fit. Apparently not. That's not the one I thought it was. Look the same. That's the one. No, that's a 12. That's not the one. Ratchet's knackered on that one. I'll just use the open end. I think the brake adjustment bar is a different size. Where are we? Should do the job. Just undoing the threaded adjuster on the brake rod for the rear brake. That way I shouldn't lose the position of the lever on the drum. Better loosen the axle. No, I'll pop you back in the drawer. Pardon me. What's the other side? Maybe 19. I suppose we better undo the bottom of the dampers now. Oh, they went tight anyway. On the side of the exhaust I undid the top mount, so I don't have to take the exhaust off. Right, now we'll have to jack it up. That's about the right place. I haven't pulled the dampers off, so it's still lifting the rear wheel up. Right, let's get the axle out then. Careful, push it in with your finger, because as soon as you push the axle bolt through, it guillotines the ends of the finger. The wheel dropping down. Now, where did I put this plug? Must be that side. Or did I have a plug? Did I just solder it? Oh, there is a plug there. Trouble is, it's all heat shrinked. So I'm going to need a method of unheat shrinking my plug. Now I've unplugged the other end of the wire, so I can take the tail arm off already. What did I do with that? It's probably under here somewhere. Yeah, it used to go up there and plug up here. But I didn't want to I don't know if I get a bit more room. That's the only problem with this heat shrink with glue. It makes it quite a difficult job. To get it off. Especially when your Stanley blade is so blunt. to the end. There we are. Axles off, tensioners are out the way. Oh, Jane. We know what's wrong. The brakes. There we go. Remove the drum. Anything else holding? Oh yeah, that's what's holding. Chain guard is on the sprocket. Gonna have to clean these up. Probably use a kitchen scrubber, WD-40 and some toothpaste. And I won't have to spend anything to make them look nice. Right. Now it's off with the tailing arm, isn't it? That guard is fastened just to the trailing arm, so I guess it's this bolt here, which I think goes all the way through. Let's see what size we were talking. That's the 17. Where's the other ratchet that I was using? Anybody see it? My favourite 3/8 Helkey ratchet anywhere? I'm really impressed with that 3/8 ratchet actually. Well pleased with it. Just don't know what I've done with it. I found it. It's hiding behind the plasterboard. So the problem I'm going to have is these wheel studs are going to be sticking out. Which are interesting. They have a cap on the back and a cap on the front, so they actually can't just come out like wheel studs like I thought they would. I'm going to have to find something, and obviously raising my bike will change the angle of my headlight as well, so that'll have to be set properly. Let's see what size it is this side. Oh, that seems smaller. Oh no, that's bigger. Why is my bigger socket always going on the 3/8? I felt my bike moving on the jack then. is not what I want. Right, let's see if we can reposition it, because I don't want it falling over. Seems alright. Does this spin out by itself? Ooh, feels tight even with it still. Interesting. Is that a silly bolt for me to be trying to take out? It seems awfully tight. I don't see any reason why it'd be so difficult. Wicked, man. Interesting. I'll give it a wallop from the other side. See what happens. Maybe I should just put the chocks back on and see if I can push against it. Maybe I'm making a big mistake. What the heck? Okay. What am I not understanding about this tailing arm? To me, it looks like a long bolt goes through this mount, same mount on the other side. But it doesn't want to turn. Right, there's something different here, man. Doesn't even seem to be turning the nut the other side. I'm quite confused. Looks like I might have to take the bike out and lay it down on its side, which I really didn't want to do because it's a lot more to handle. I thought this had just come straight out. It's different than what it looks like. Interesting. I'm wondering if putting a dugger on it and she'll spin out then. Let's give that a try because I can't see any mechanism. Just yeah, let's try the dugger. You've got to remember the nuts off the other side. Seems like, I don't know. That's not going nowhere. Oh, that's hot. See that moving? What have we got here then? I thought this was just a rubber guard for the chain to bounce against. There can't be some big secret to it, literally. I'm sure it's just it's well weird, isn't it? I'm going to go and do some research because I've never done this, and to me that should be just a long nut and bolt through some tube which it pivots on. But it's always the way on camera, isn't it? Like a true YouTube hero, I got it off with the camera not rolling. There's not any fancy mechanism or anything. It is literally just corrosion and rust that's stopping it. Here's the bit that goes in between the tailing arm and that's basically joining onto that and becoming a non-moving free unit. How was it freed off? Penetrant, impact gun, hammer. Just started off by hammering the nut, bang, 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 this end, which brought it out as far as it could go. Then it was the impact gun, as far as it could go one way, as far as it could go the other way, lubricants, and then off with the nut, and hammer, hammer, hammer with a bolt into the hole, this one here, and then it all came apart, given a bit of angle support for the tailing arm, or the swing arm as they call it on the internet. So make sure she's well greased. I'll have to give that a sand, find some grease before that goes back. Now it's a job of taking this outside and welding it. So you have some roller bearings in here with your inserts, so careful you don't lose them. And all I'll be doing now I've got a nice flat welding surface, so I don't have any funny angles, because I haven't welded arc welder in 30 years. The arc welder is literally just pulled out of an old leaky shed, so I'll be just putting that there, put a tack, and then run a weld. Same the other side. And I'll have to clean this paint off because it's like a rubberized kind of paint. I don't know, it's pretty awesome paint, but then I'll have to buy some black spray paint. And that's my plan. think I should take off this plastic, because if this heat soaks from welding that much of a weld, this might melt. I don't particularly want to risk that. Right, so we're there. I'm going to have to run a die over the thread, because obviously when it's been hammered through, it's not liked it very much. I did put a nut on, but the actual pulling through damaged it more than hitting it. The problem with hitting it without a nut on is it mushrooms the end, and then you can't pull it through the hole. So now I'm just going to give it a quick grind across this top bit here, so I can get a good arc on the welder. Oh, it's a funny smell. Right, so I'm going to get the mole grips. So to space these equally and keep them straight, I'm keeping a little gap between the two plates, just enough for this to grab, but in theory that plan's not going to work. I'm just going to have to eyeball it suppose I'll just measure from there to there, really, to replicate it there to there. Right, I'll just pause you whilst I get the welder. Out the way, go. Turn this round so I can see a bit better. Oh, mind you, this will give me better. On the plate. Just hope I got it on the thick plate enough, not too much on the thinner bike steel. Let's get some light, thank you. I'm going to have to get something to tap the welds with. Well, I'm going to get a torch so I can actually see. I'm tapping it to get all the arc slag off that's on the surface. So I'm getting a lot of slag out of the undercuts where it's trying to avoid the bike. I think I'll try a run over the top. Now we got a bit of melt all the slag in place and stuff. Are we looking at the right place? We are. Okay, let's tilt you up a bit. See. There we are. I think I might try it this direction actually, that way I won't get caught up in all the earthing. It looks like she's on. Now we'll have to measure from this bolt to this bolt so we know what the other side is. We'll have to let that cool down because I haven't got any gauntlets. They rotted away a million years ago. So did the welder. That's, I don't know if you've seen the state of it. Oh, the torch is just... So I used to weld ships. You can see the smoke coming from it now. So it all caught fire inside the hull. Got rebuilt by the storeman. The switch does just smoke yesterday. All this is smoking today. It's like being in a wet shed for 30 years. But she's still going. The earth didn't make any difference. So I have to use car jump leads straight from the terminal. But I don't know, we're getting the job done. Get some nice paint on it, stop her rusting away, measure up the other side. I'll be quite a happy bunny. I should gain around 2.5 inches in height on the bike. Right, turning it over. Right, let's unplug that welder so we don't electrocute ourselves. And we need to move that earth. Right, that's the easiest way without losing anything. Right. Measure first. Right, I'll get tape measure. And with lights, action, camera, thank you. Took your time. That's 4.5 inches centre to centre. I'm just wondering, I'll spin it around. Oh, we could put a weld on the back there as well. You know what? I actually really want to put a weld on the back. That'll straighten it up good as well. Are we still rolling? We are. Right, better get some earth clamping done. I only put this clamp on with a hope that it'll start working. I wasn't getting anything from it, so it is just I hope it'll work. All the earthing really comes from here. I'm just going to grab a rod. some power. Plug the box in, power it up. Oh, that's not good. And come on. See if we can get this to go. There's the torch. Oh, why is the torch not working? The button's just playing up. Right, definitely got some weld on it. Looks like that wire corked it, unfortunately. I'll have to pull that through and repair it. May as well just cut it in. Right, let's get this sorted. So what was the inches? Four and a half. Can we have light, please? Thank you. Where's the tool? Tack on at the moment. decent rod because there's some left, but it won't give me a full run. So put a new rod on. We'll just go for it. Right, that didn't work, did it? Right, thank you, sure. Whew. Maybe I should let that cool down a bit. Right, see if we can. Is that hot? It's fairly warm though. I burned myself on that tube. The wire's in. Looks like I'm going to need a new wire in there. I'm just going to get a weld on the back side of this. I'll start with a new one so I don't run out. I don't want that on my jump leads. That's careful you don't pick up a hot old rod. That's as welded. Get that electrical box, arc welder switched off because that's deadly. This is really hot now, so so we're just going to let everything cool down. Now the question is, can I get the dog in rather without it hurting itself on the hot metal? Oh, I see my bush is falling out, so that's quite annoying. I'll pick that up before I lose it. Set my rods in. Everything else will have to cool. Unplug the welder. That's that done. Is that too hot? Alright. I'll leave that outside for a bit. That's a bit hot. That's hot. Let's move this out of the way. So it kind of stops the dog. Right. We'll have to move on to the next stage. Well, I seem to carry on with the theme of working offline. I've enlarged the holes and pulled in some M12 studs from a MGTF. I stripped a couple of new nuts, pulling them through because I only had a 12mm and it's about 12.5 you need. But they're in place. That bearing was damaged, so that's been removed. Found a pair online for £7 plus postage for the pair. So they're 20 internal, 27 outer and 30mm wide. So I have to order them, so I won't be putting it back together. I'll be clean up the welds, get some paint on and push in the bearings next time. So thanks for watching. Have a good week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day. This should give me about 2.5–3 inches of lifting height, so be well happy with that. So lucky to get away with welding this, because I think it's just pressed steel or something. I don't think it's that. Maybe it's chassis steel, so you know, like 1.6 or 1.8. But still, with the arc welder, I was quite lucky to get away with it. But pulling them studs through the 12mm hole, you can see it's twisted the hub metal where it's been pulling. So happy days. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Oh, please like, comment and subscribe. That was proper funny. I'm going to make a short video of you just going rum, rum, rum.